everyone, my name is Joel Cox. We also have Lee Berryman here. I'm the one who built NoPlaceLeft.Tools, the GenMapper at NoPlaceLeft.Tools, and Lee Berryman is the one who built the GenMapper at GenMapper.com. We both have been putting our resources together and decided to begin working together in order to provide everyone using both of these applications with a new application that solves a lot of problems that we have seen across the world in trying to address engagement. We have originally been calling this new application GenMapper 2.0, but I would like to introduce to you the new application that we are building, and that is called GAPP, G-A-P-P, which stands for Gospel to All Peoples and Places. Lee, I'll give it to you.
From Scripture, we understand that there's going to be an uncountable crowd before the throne from every people, language, tribe, and nation. And we all long to see that day. But until we're there, we have a question in our minds on this side of heaven of what people and what places have not yet seen God's activity. And so the concept behind GAPP is to take what we were doing in GenMapper with tracking very simply activity among churches across all different aspects of the field workers' task in planning churches, entering new areas, and seeing what people's have activity and where they do and where they do not. And largely, we have two audiences uh, for this application: leadership and field workers.
Okay, we're going to talk about the two different audiences. We have leadership, and the other audience that we have is field workers. These two buckets of audiences are very generic, and they contain a wide variety of people who might be within each of these categories. In fact, some of the people that are field workers are also leaders. However, these are the two primary audiences that we really want to address in building this new application. For field workers specifically, one thing that we want to make easy is the ability to input data. The field workers need to be able to pass on information about what they're doing up to leadership. So in order for leadership to receive this information, it needs to be easily inputted by the field workers. And we're talking about people that might not be technical at all. We're talking about people who have probably never used an application before. And so we have to make an application that is extremely simple, that allows a very easy way to input data that reveals engagement. So we want leadership to be able to receive this information in order to make strategic decisions. So we have leadership here. However, not only do we want this information to benefit the leadership, but this information should also in some ways benefit the field worker in order to encourage them to continue to input data. And there are different ways that we can make this happen. So we can provide the field workers with the progress of their goals, because they can set goals around the different tasks in the application, the ability to celebrate with one another, and also the ability to share that data with other field workers, even if they're not in the same organization. Go ahead, Lee.
Some of the pain points as a field worker that I experienced in early days of being on the field was I was asked very big picture questions that I would have to answer that I didn't know how to answer. They were questions like, how many churches have been planted this year among X people group? And while I felt like that was very good information to know, as a field worker, I didn't know how to tell you the answer to that. I knew some people that I interacted with that maybe were representative of that information, but I didn't know the collective whole, and I couldn't tell you that number. But if I had an easy to use interface where as I went, I could just type in a little bit of information that I knew as I gathered along the way. I could answer that big picture question and didn't have to think about the complexity of what I was being asked to fill out.
That's good. Thank you, Lee. So we want to solve this cycle where field workers can input data. The inputted data is relayed to the leadership, and the leadership can use that data in strategic ways for the field workers. And this cycle continues and continues, and we want to make this easy. And that's what GAPP is
And
going to allow us to do.
in a lot of ways, this year during COVID, we've become familiar with data visualizations and dashboards in ways maybe we hadn't used in day-to-day life before. And these days, the expectation of any application is that you can gain information, the information you need in an intuitive way. And so we've been working together and have some great things in store to we feel like that can deliver on these needs of leadership and field workers.
Great. Thanks, Lee. And that's what we have for you on this video. Thank you for watching. We will have a lot more videos coming out here shortly. There will be small videos that talk about very specific pieces of GAPP and how we will be implementing them and what they mean, the problems that they solve, and the pain points that they address. You can continue to follow along with us if you will subscribe to the link right here. You can also go to GAPP, GAPP taethni, TAETHNI.com to see more information about GAPP. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.